Hello, Connor. Progress is going well. We don't have a release date for a new demo at this time, but things are going well. Put it that way. Still there, Johnny?
Yes.
For some reason, it's no longer showing our names, the Streamlabs. That's weird.
It probably corrupted.
I hope not, but I'll look for it.
And honestly, we probably shouldn't be using slobs to begin with.
I'm sorry, using what?
Slobs.
I don't know what that is.
Streamlabs.
Apparently the Stream Kit link just returns a white page, so it's not a big deal. Well, now I gotta wait for people to rejoin. Which about the demo? Where exactly do I go and the mysterious voice call it with the mysterious voice starts calling in Zero's campaign? You want to head where the volcano is with Dragoon, but you're gonna want to hop over the volcano. That's gonna take you to a different area. You're gonna climb up a bit, and then there's some bonus content in there.
It did say in the south.
I believe so. It's been a hot minute, but yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. So I was fixing the color on this, and then I didn't get to save. Yeah, understandable, Connor. Completely understandable. It just occurred to me, Johnny, this is using the murky water filter, which we're probably not going to be dealing with in this area. Yeah, there we go.
Just a blue one.
Just a what?
Said just a blue one then.
Yeah. There we go. some point redo this filter as well, because depending on how big the water block is, changes the way it looks. It's not really scalable. The walls remind me of the PSP version of Mega Man X. Oh, interesting. Definitely not intentional, but good to know. Good to know.
Shork. You say fish, I say shork. Fish, shark, fish, shork.
Good job, but okay.
He's just saying fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
Burritos.
Now you're being random.
A little bit.
Okay. I'm sure it does. Sure it does. Just out of curiosity, if you'll have to guess how much more there is to do to finish this game, quite a bit. We have not really tackled the final, like, 4 levels and the final bosses yet, for one. We also need to record a lot of dialogue with our voice actors. So there's that as well. It's gonna take a while for this game to come out. Hey, Darn. Welcome back. My power went out, and then it came back on like 5 minutes later. So I'm gonna try to keep things going, but if no one joins, we might just end it. Johnny's still here. For some reason, it's not showing like the little Discord voice chat icon anymore. But he's with me here, right, Johnny?
Allegedly.
Oh yeah, Zero's voice actor does a great job. His name's Andrew. We took a lot of inspiration from Castlevania Symphony of the Night with that, like, retelling of the ending. And definitely kind of wanted to make it a little bit more, let's say, graphic, just because, you know, the goal of that whole sequence it's meant for people who may have never played 04 or just need a refresher. And it's like you really gotta sell the direness of the situation. So we took a few liberties with that sequence.
It was dramatic. It was impactful.
Hmm. Yeah. I think in the demo you're playing, you can die in that sequence. We're gonna. The way it is now, it's more like Symphony of the Night, where you're out of health. You're gonna get bailed out, but yeah. What else do I do here? Doing alright, Beth. How about you?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Do that side face. What do y'all think of the Mega Man X8 remake project? I haven't had a chance to play it myself. A few of our dev members have, but from what I've personally seen, it looks like a really cool project. I do adore the changes they made to the boss fights. I think it's really creative.
I need to play through it to completion.
I think some people are making mods for it now. To add in like Zero and I think Axel as well.
Yep.
That's really cool. Understandable, darn. Yes, it is. Darn, yes. Hello, Vega. How you doing today? Yeah, no, I saw the thing about fighting all the Mavericks at the same time. I think that's a really cool little, I don't know if Easter egg's the right word, but it's a cool feature.
Every flash animation ever that
Welcome home, Jetstream.
envisioned the concept.
Oh yeah. I think there was a fan game of Mega Man 2 where you fight all 8 Robot Masters at once, and it goes about as well as you'd expect. What was it called? Rockman Netta, I think? Maybe? Don't quote me on that. It's been like 6 years?
Interesting name.
I could be misremembering, so...
Take that shower with extreme prejudice.
Okay, X. Nice. It's a bit messy. What do you like better, ZX or Advent? That's a good question. I feel like each game... There's something ZX did better than Advent, and some things Advent did better than ZX. Like, I think... The world map in ZX, not great. It was often very confusing to figure out where you had to go next. It felt like they were trying to revive the open world ideas they had from Zero One, but just like Zero One, they didn't have enough time to really flesh it out so it felt good, you know? And so you see with Zero Two, they went for a more conventional pick your boss and teleport type scenario, and you see the same thing in Advent, because I think they understood that just the map wasn't well received. Now, I very much like ZX for its connections to the Zero series and kind of the themes they were playing with just the characters of old in this proxy war against effectively Weil himself, or the embodiment of him. I like the idea of seeing the Resistance characters taking on new identities, and characters like Alouette growing up and basically taking on the role of CL after CL disappeared. And I really wanted to see that whole plot point get further developed with after ZX. But those characters in Advent basically don't exist. Like, we get to see a bit with Vent and Ale, and I think that's neat. I think the concept of fighting the protagonists of the previous game is super neat. But I wanted to see more of the Guardians, and they're basically not in the game beyond a cameo with the Nuage itself. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand. What about you, Johnny?
I feel like ZXA. It finishes off things, but it finishes off things in a very oddly quick manner. Like, Albert is this big bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything is so very rushed. Like,
This reveal
There's-
is so cheesy.
there's all these forms, but we never really get time to. Well, they don't properly get time to actually, like, become good.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very gimmicky. The potential is there, but at least with ZX, it was much more refined because the amount of characters you could play as was quite reduced.
Mm-hmm.
With Advent, it felt like there was
Quantity over quality.
not. Yeah,
So
there was too much.
I will respect their intent with Advent. I think their intent was pretty much every single game in the, let's call it the Inti series, so Zero and ZX. You're playing as a Zero type, whether it's literally Zero himself or Model ZX. You are playing most of the game start to finish with a Saber and a Buster. You know, nor the exceptions like bit of Model X at the beginning of ZX, or like beginning of Zero when we just have the Buster, right? For the most part, these games kind of follow that same kind of flow and formula, I will call it. You're a Saber guy with a Buster, right? I felt like Model A was their way of trying something different. You're playing as a character with no real melee weapons, and for a solid chunk of the game, I don't think you get ZX until like 2/3 in, and I think the closest thing you get to a Saber type is HX earlier. But they like really make you earn ZX. I respect that. I see the intent in that, I see the potential for that. Now, I think that all the Mavericks you beat and then become, yeah, they are incredibly gimmicky. You use them like once because the game requires it to you, and maybe a second time if you're like collecting stuff in the levels. But
There's like a block.
it's like in ZX, you can generally play a stage from start to finish as one of the forms, and people are gonna have favorites, and there's just so much potential with that. But with the Mavericks you A-Trans into, most of them aren't like compatible with the stages. I mean, God, what's his name? The Chrono Force is literally a fish out of water if you try to spawn him on land. I mean, it doesn't translate that well in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of works. Yeah, OX is a much better like new game plus reward than Model A ever was. Like I felt like Model A was more a like an inside joke for NT because it doesn't really have practical use. It's more something you just use for a laugh, I guess. But OX feels like good fan service. I wish we had more of that. Uh,
It basically, it looks just like the minigame version.
I
So
think the only thing that gets added, I think, is you can wall jump, but otherwise, it doesn't really
Oh,
offer any kind of advantages in battle.
No, you can't wall jump.
Even when you have it during the regular game.
Yep. You have to transform out of it to swap to something else, to wall jump, then transform back into it.
If that's the case, it's useless.
It is.
Damn, dude. All right. Hello, Kid Saga. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Whoops. Photoshop, please. There we go. No, Johnny's here. It's just the little thing on the stream that would show who's here doesn't work right now for some reason.
It broke it.
I had a power outage earlier, and when I got back, it stopped working. Have you all seen the Ultimate MX remaster? Yes, I have. Yeah, no, I mean, we were, still are big fans of that video. The JV1000, it's not even plugged in right now. This ceiling could use some work. Let's see. Let's see. Let's try it. Yeah, let's do it there. Color. Make it real
There.
subtle. What's up, Johnny?
They're trying to steal Jack's cheese.
Actually, you know what? Red color might actually be nice. Maybe. Yes. Okay, that actually. It's got a bit of warmth. It's closer it gets, and then farther it gets, go with a. I have no idea how well these gradients are showing on stream with the compression, but I'm just kind of painting in a very subtle transition.
Could be worse.
Hey, Ronnie! thing is, I feel like some of these details are just gonna get lost when it gets downscaled, but it still looks good. Just to stare at, right? Who knows? Maybe this could get thrown in the gallery. I'm sorry?
It informs the reduction.
It does. We need to paint in shadows in a few places as well. I need to think about where the light source is coming from. Let me pop up in Blender. I think... Okay, good. Everything here is fine. I think, yeah, when we render this out, light's kind of downwards and a bit to the left, but since it's flipped, it's going to be on both sides of the wall. So we got a bit of it here. Hypothetically, we might even get a highlight here, I think, with that angle. Yeah. And we'll need to do that as well as your favorite games in the MMZ franchise. I love X5 and Zero Two, personally. X5, even though it wasn't a perfect execution, I love the idea of that whole 12-hour time limit and being able to, if you wanted to, just go straight to the end of the game from the beginning. But I also really liked what they did with Zero's character, trying to move the plot forward. Which, considering X5 was supposed to be the end of the X series, makes sense. You know, why they do it. And Zero Two, I just have kind of a soft spot for, both because it was literally my first Mega Man game ever, but also, it's not a perfect execution, but I really enjoyed like the form system they had in that game. Hypothetically, we'd have shadows here, a little bit here. Maybe not this much.
I'm probably sitting at X5 and X5 and Z1, despite its flaws.
What's your favorite part of Z1?
Just so very different and yet the same.
So you like it for what they endeavor to do, regardless of the execution?
Yep.
Alright.
They saw a path forward that the rest of the people involved with Mega Man couldn't. They did something new, and they took it in a different direction, and it felt right.
Devil's advocate, is it new if Legends did something very similar?
Legends?
Like traveling to the missions.
No. Legends is 3D. I guess you could argue that. Sure. It's a harder sell for that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Legends by itself is... It's actually hard to call it a Mega Man game.
Really?
Yeah. Like... minus Mega Man, it's... It's really a platformer RPG with Mega Man characters. It's the same logic could be applied to Battle Network, because you have to walk all the way to the stages of Battle Network, right?
I guess, yeah. Do you consider Mega Man Soccer a Mega Man game?
No.
Dang.
It's a Mega Man flavored game.
Dang. I think the whole original concept of the Zero series, where X was the actual villain, yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with that. I don't think it should have been over after the first game, I think. It should have been a progressing conflict throughout however many games they made, you know, whether it was a trilogy or more like what we got. Because the way it's executed 0-1, it's kind of not built up. But
Yeah, it does kind of just happen really fast.
yeah. Just put it there. That's too much. Oh wait, why can't I paint? You good, Photoshop? Oh, there we go.